Hello, my friends. So, I have a subject that has come up with some people I've been chatting with here and there, and I think it's a good time to discuss this. Um, it has to do with depression. A lot of people they know what depression is. They know because so many people have experienced certain levels of depression. And I've been depressed. And I know what you're going through, all that. We've all experienced stuff. So that's understandable that a lot of people understand what it is. But there's variables that have not been discussed by professionals, by the scientists and therapists and psychologists. And I think it's important that this subject be a part of the discussion on a social level. So, for one, depression comes about for a lot of people. I'm not going to say everybody, but for a lot of people, depression's brought about by a lot of factors. Um, some of the common factors might be on a personal level, might be on a social level, might be on an economic level, even spiritual. But what people are missing is what happens if the underlying variables of the depression cannot be changed or not worked with. When a person gets depressed, they are seeing the world in a whole different light. Their life in a different light. What might mean something one day will mean something totally different on another. The smallest little thing could mean a lot, whether it's good or bad. And so when someone's in a depression, when they fall into the depression, they could be hiding it, but they often try to tap into others through small hints, like, hey, how'd your day go? Yeah, I made it through the day. I'm good. What's for dinner? You get home. Hey, what's going on? Nothing much. I don't feel like doing anything. I'm just gonna sit and be. I'm gonna go sit in the backyard and relax and enjoy the peace and quiet. These are subtle hints that should lead to future inquiries as to how they're doing. Um, Little tidbits, just keeping track of each other. You're not responsible for everybody around you. What it is everybody is a tribe, and we are responsible for each other. We need to support each other. Friends support friends, family support family. But sometimes your family sucks. Sometimes your friends suck, or you just don't have many friends. You might not have any family or friends, and you're just alone. But here's the thing: when a person gets depressed, their serotonin is going down, or it's already down, and that's a chemical inside you. It's a chemical that helps it's like a happy juice, I guess is the best term I can put it. That helps you to not see and feel the stuff going on as heavily. A lot of people go on antidepressants. Those antidepressants are a chemical substitute in some cases for the depression, for that serotonin. In some cases, that the chemicals, the antidepressants, are helping them to progress through the day in the hope that their body will produce the serotonin necessary to get out of the depression. But the thing is, for some people, and this is what I'm leading up to what I want to talk about. You know what? Let me just say what I'm going to talk about: homicide, killing people. People sometimes get so depressed that they lose sight of reality, and they just want to die. And they were suicidal, and they bypassed that point. They didn't commit suicide. Their depression has not been addressed. Their environment has not changed. The things that are driving them closer and closer to that edge of suicide are still there, but they've gone beyond suicide because people help them to not kill themselves, which is a good thing. You don't want, your friends, family, or people just outright killing themselves because they're depressed. I mean, it's just not a good thing. It's like, hey, I'm suicidal. No, no, I love you. Don't kill yourself. I have been there. I've had friends help me, and I have had people, step up and help work my way through that period. But the thing is, if what's caused that buildup is still existent, if that thing that's just drilling into them, or those things, or those events, experiences, environments, whatever it is still drilling into them like a screw going into a piece of wood, but getting past suicide, but not getting past the problem, can lead to homicidal suicide. Now, homicidal suicide, you've heard, suicide by cop, where someone does something and the cops come and they want the cops to kill them. They want them to shoot them. And people might not know that this is what's going on. The person might grab their AR-15 and they might go into a school and start shooting people. And they're doing it knowing full well that someone's going to come after them, and they're hoping that someone will kill them. They're praying that someone will kill them. That is the depression. That is the level. This person was in such a dark place, and no one knew they were there, or the people that did know helped them to alleviate their depression so they didn't kill themselves. They might not even know they were suicidal, but they helped them to realize that suicide's a bad thing. And they reached a new level, a new plateau. And this plateau is not discussed on a social level by professionals in a public environment to let society know what they're looking at. School shootings and going into a bar full of, a gay person going into a bar and killing a bunch of other gay people, or a shooter in a building just randomly shooting people, these things, someone might be thinking, oh, it's politically motivated. It's, they're racist. They're homophobic, whatever. There's more going on. And when you have mass shootings, that person also becomes a tool that can be manipulated. And that's one of the problems as well. Because if you're part of an organization, and that organization is a fringe organization, a dangerous organization, they're going to see that as an asset. They're going to see that person as a potential opportunity if needed. Now, I'm not going into details about that because that's not my concern. My concern is the fact that this person was depressed. They were depressed, and people were not trying to do what was necessary, which is to help them out of what's bringing them down. Now, when I say help them out of, I'm not talking, give them a bunch of money and let them move away, because that's not necessarily the solution either. We as a society need to try and share with the people we trust more. And if the people we trust do things to show we don't trust them, we need to cut them out of our lives. Whether it's, homeless people are homeless because they've gotten out of an environment that was bad and a problem, or they were put into an environment that was bad or a problem and they end up becoming homeless. People go on drugs and alcohol because they're attempting to self-medicate a problem that they themselves are not comfortable sharing. And they're not comfortable sharing because we as a society have not helped people understand that a lot of us are out there for them. So you need as a person to understand that when someone is depressed, they could progress to becoming suicidal. If someone becomes suicidal, if we don't work on fixing why they're suicidal, not just trying to help them not be suicidal, oh, don't kill yourself, you're so loved and important. No, we need to work on why they were suicidal, why they are suicidal, and how to get them out of that being suicidal, but also how to get them from what might come next. Because stopping them or helping them to not commit suicide is not the only step. That's not the only answer. Your goal is not just to keep them from being suicidal. Your goal as a society is to make sure that they're not still super depressed, because great, now they're not suicidal, they might be homicidal. And they might be someone going into a school with an AR-15. We need to help those people that are in those dark places and to understand what help they need so that they're not suicidal, because they are not going to be as depressed. That's our goal. And that should be our goal. And that should be the conversation we are hearing from the therapists and psychologists and doctors, and not from someone like me. They should be the ones talking about it. Hopefully you'll like my video. I would love you to subscribe. I don't do videos very often. I really need to start to, but I just haven't figured out how to make this thing whole really start flowing. I mean, I don't come up with topics that often that make me jump up and down, and But yeah, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, watch my videos, and please, if you know of a therapist, psychologist, or doctor, share this video with them. Even if they want to comment in a video of their own and saying, Nanette, you're a fool, you're an idiot, I'm not a doctor, I'm a person. And if they want to come on and say, Nanette's an idiot, she has no idea what she's talking about, that's fine. Because we're getting the conversation going. I love you guys. You take care.